Hello and welcome to our show, Film Talk with AJ Dean. I'm AJ Dean, and tonight we have a super spectacular show. We have Rich Hopkins. Yes, you might be laughing, Rich, but you are amazing. Let me just introduce you. You are a stuntman, a stunt coordinator. You're an actor. You're also you do consulting, and you're also an action actor, and also Thrill Seekers Unlimited is your company, and that's how everybody. You also have a website on there as well. Let's say hello to our wonderful and charming Rich Hopkins. Welcome back. How are you?
Thanks for having me back. I must have done something right the first time to have you, invite me back. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Rich, you are one of the superstars there in Las Vegas. There's no one like you. You've got a list, a smorgasbord, if you will, of incredible TV, movies, films, videos. You've done it all, and I'm just so delighted to have you back. And you're incredible, high standard talent. So it's a pleasure and an honor.
Well, man, my head's exploding. That's quite an introduction, and I'm humbled, but that's what sticking around for 35 years does. You get quite a body of work built up. It takes a little time, and with some of the stunts and stuff I've been involved with, I'm just happy to be here with you.
It's really, really wonderful. And I'll keep you grounded. I'm pretty humble, and you're a humble guy. So we'll be grounded together, Rich. But it's so great to see you again. And speaking of new things, you have been up to some wonderful projects and productions. And on the second screen right here, we've got Sympathy for the Devil with Nicolas Cage and Back on the Strip. Now, Sympathy for the Devil, it's a blockbuster movie. It's very popular. It's happening now or coming out. Can you tell us about it and what you play?
Yeah, absolutely. I was really excited to be offered the opportunity because I actually went in and met with the production team to be the stunt coordinator. And it turns out that Yuval Adler, which I'm humbled that he would offer me a pivotal role and stuff, but I was going in to try to be the stunt coordinator, and he had just finished working with a gentleman named Danny Wayne, who's a great stunt coordinator. And he goes, so there was a conversation where I was like, Rich, well, you're qualified and it would be cool to have you coordinate, but I just worked with Danny and I'd like to have him in. So I kind of bummed out for 2 seconds, and then he goes, but I'd like to offer you the role of the truck driver. And I'm like, oh, so now I'm going to be in it. So it was pretty cool.
That must have made your day when he said that and asked you, because you are actually, do I dare mention it? You're actually in a scene with the Nicolas Cage, right?
Well, yeah, I'm in a pretty hefty scene with Nick and Joel Kinnaman. Don't leave him out.
Right.
The trailer's out, so people that have seen it probably know there's a little crazy plot twist going on and all that. It comes, first of all, let me go ahead and plug it. It comes out Friday, July 28th, and it's got theatrical release, and then obviously it's going to take all the other channels. But if you can catch it in a theater, man, you won't be disappointed. It's a wild ride. Let's put it this way. I play a truck driver. Most people are used to seeing me like this, but I actually look sort of like this since I play a truck driver. Those that actually know me know my hair's undercut because I play a lot of cop roles, military, so I can put my hair up in a hat or a helmet and look like a truck driver. So I basically start antagonizing Nick as they come in, and it all goes downhill from there. I go from being like the tough trucker alpha male to like a queebing, like, oh no, I'm up against somebody really gnarly. So I'll leave it at that. I just want to tease that out there. But the scene, I haven't seen it, so I don't know how long the scene is, but it's basically 20 pages of the script. So if those of you in the industry know, basically the rule of thumb is it's about a minute per page. So it's probably 20 or more minutes long of the movie, and it's it's pretty intense. So
I'm so proud of you. And I have
yeah,
a question. How long, I have a few questions. How, behind the scenes, how long did it take to do those 20 pages? Was it several days, a week, or longer?
it was 6 working days. So I had the honor of working with that caliber of talent and being around uh, such a gifted actor. I mean, I was in, I was trying to keep my cool and stay focused on what I had to do, but I'm sitting here, like, even in scenes I wasn't in, I'm watching Nick and just going, wow, he can talk about this scene, roll into character, and just nail it. He knew his lines, he knew Joel's not lines, mine, the waitress, like, yeah, I mean, he's a pro. He's rad.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
We love Nicolas Cage so much. He is one of my favorites, and I know yours as well. So to be able to work with our, those actors who inspire us so much, you must have gotten some gratification from it. It made you feel good those days.
Man, it was humbling. It was elatement. It was like trying to go home and sleep. We were doing pretty much night shoots, so like call time would be 4 or 6 o'clock. We'd film all night. I'd be getting home with the sun coming up. Then I'd try to force myself to sleep because I had to be back at 4 or 5 or somewhere in the early evening to do wardrobe, hair, makeup, all that, kind of get ready. It was a wild week, man. It was awesome.
I'm so
So
happy for you, Rich. You deserve it. And you're up there, like I said, you're up there with the high standards. And you've over 30 years plus, you have gotten respect in the industry. You're known for safety and wonderful protection. And so people trust you. You are a trusted name within the film industry, and that's why we value you so much. You're so important. And also, Rich, I wanted to ask now, working with Nicolas Cage on the set, is he taller than you? Are you about the same height as him? I'm just kind of curious.
uh I believe on screen I think he's 6 or 6'1".
Yeah,
And
he's
it's really
tall,
weird
right?
because I used to be 6'2", and then last time I had a physical, they're like, no, you're 6'1". And I go, well, maybe 30 plus years of impact on my back, and
Oh,
I've shrunk. So, but I was wearing pretty high, like, uh, construction worker type boots. So, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
most of the time I'm running or like,
yes.
dodging some bullets maybe, but
Wow.
um,
So,
yeah,
so regarding the scene, thank you so much for that. Regarding the scene, so he's very tall. He's nice and tall like you.
six
Um,
foot, 6'1",
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, regarding the scene, Rich, when you're there, you said you transformed from one emotion to the other. And when you were doing that on the set, what did you think of to to transition from the, alpha male, like you said, to the uh,
Scared human
scared,
being.
frightened? Yes. What motivated you as an actor?
Well, I knew what was obviously going to go down, reading the script and knowing all that. And basically, like, I'm a tough guy trucker, and these two strange looking dudes walk in. So I start antagonizing them. Okay. Well, then as the scene plays out, everyone starts figuring out this guy is unstable, as you would see in the trailer. And then I start figuring out, oh man, like, I should have left this guy alone while I had the chance, and now it's too late. So
Yeah.
I don't want to go into any spoiler alerts, and
Yes,
yeah, you
yes.
got to go watch it, man. I
I
mean, I
know, I
can't
know.
wait. I'm
Thank you.
waiting to at least see a screener or hoping to get invited to some kind of premiere would be
Yes,
nice.
yes.
I've been to a few premieres as a stunt coordinator, but never as an actor in this caliber of film. So,
This
you
is,
know,
I immediately recognized you, and I hope you get to go to the premiere. Fingers crossed on that, Rich, that they
yeah.
send you an invite and let you know where it is. Then you can go there. And what a wonderful event. I'm hoping that you hear from them soon on that. But Sympathy for the Devil, it's amazing. And also he's been in Nicolas Cage is in, just want to throw it out there, Renfield as well. So he's doing a lot of these type of movies. It's fascinating. So back to you, Back on the Strip is the second movie poster here. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, my buddy Brandon Minchin, he's producer, called me up, hey, we're shooting in Vegas and we've got some pretty high caliber, actors. It's a comedy. He sent me the script and he goes, we're not blowing stuff up, we're not crashing cars. They're like little, pratfall gags, things like that with the actors. So most stunt coordinators would call it a babysitting job, which it was, just keeping everybody safe and having fun with it. But it's really funny. It's got it stars Wesley Snipes, Tiffany Haddish, JB Smoove, Bill Bellamy, and there's a really rad cameo with Kevin Hart. He came in for one day and just it was so wild because he plays the father of a girl who's having a birthday party, and he really improvised. I mean, I knew what the script was, and like he knew what the through line was and what his lines were, but he really took it to the next level. And of course, Chris Spencer was the director, and he was super cool to work with. And Chris let him just rock. I mean, I can't even describe the scene. It's you got to go see that, and that one comes out. I'm looking at my notes. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have this memorized, but I got to. This one comes out on August 18th.
August 18th.
Yes, August 18th. That
Wow.
one comes out. I'm not sure what the distribution is. It's definitely worthy of theatrical release, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping for that.
Yes.
It's really funny.
That's amazing.
It's a really good cast.
That is on my list. Both of them are on my list, Rick.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. I mean, they're coming out within a couple weeks of each other, so it's weird. It seems like I'm on a roll, but we did this stuff, a year plus ago.
Isn't that
So
great? Isn't it great?
it is. I mean, I like commercials. They come out within a month. They want to get those things on the air. Like films take a little more time, all the ADR, color correction, all that fun stuff, titling.
That's true.
Um, so yeah, that was a good. My buddy Brandon mentioned I actually chatted with him the other day, and he says he's coming back to Vegas. Also, I was looking at my notes. Both of the films we're talking about had our awesome local crew. Okay, not enough filmmakers know we have talented crew. We've got a handful of really good actors. And we got more than a handful of good actors, but I always want to give props and love to my crew people because I've known most of them for so long. I've been here for 32 years, so I've seen a lot of these people come through like UNLV Film School and start as a PA or whatever. Now they're like a department head of props or they're on the grip and lighting team, which are all those guys work their ass off, man. I mean, yeah.
Amazing.
So I got to share the love with our Vegas locals, and more producers need to come out and film with us.
That is great. Yes, I agree. Come to Vegas and film. It's a wonderful place. Just like Sympathy for the Devil was filmed there, right?
Yes.
And Back on the Strip. And
both were filmed entirely here. See, the big thing is even big films that come through, they roll through, shoot the strip, shoot some action, and they leave and go shoot somewhere else. And that sucks. Like both of these films, Sympathy and Back on the Strip, the whole things were shot here.
I love that.
Yeah, no, I have mad respect for those producers that put the faith in. They'll bring a few key people, maybe a DP and this and that. But I mean, you look on the call sheet and I know pretty much everybody on it. So I dig that. I like that.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? That's a nice feeling, isn't it? When you look and you recognize those names. And
Mhm.
they're also, we were speaking of trust a moment ago, how people trust you, Rich. And so when you see those names, you go, oh, okay, great, because you trust them, you've worked with them before. It's you've got a simpatico with them, a working relationship. And that is so,
Mhm.
so important. So let's, yes, I
I
want
just
to
saw a
hear.
bunch of them yesterday. I did a babysitting job for a commercial with the Pawn Star guys.
Oh,
And
wow.
there's been a little lull the last couple of months, and I hadn't seen people, so I walked in. Hey, what's up, Bill? Oh, hey, what's up, Hunter? You know, it's like I love seeing my friends. You know,
Yes, yes,
I would love for us all to be working and
all
all the
together.
time.
Yeah, all together. And a big, nice big crew, right?
Sure, yeah. Well, you know, it's weird because I started as an actor like 35 years ago, and I just couldn't swing it. I didn't have enough confidence in casting directors for the most part, or you know, a little degrading and berating and all that. And I couldn't, you know, I just didn't dig it, and I just fell into stunts literally, and that's what I'm known for. And it's weird because I talk to local producers that do maybe more modest budget films, and I'm like, hey, you know, why didn't you call me to help you out? Oh, I never thought you'd work with us. Oh, you're big time. And I'm like, really, really, come on, does it hurt to ask? If I'm not doing anything and I can come play and hang with you guys, I would do that, you
Yes.
know?
Well, I'll tell
So,
you this, Rich, if there's any productions that I'm associated with in Las Vegas, we're going to reach out to you to be there for our special safety stunt coordinator, and also, just for safety for the set, right? You call it
sure.
babysitting, but it's a very high responsible job, and you have to have your wits about you. You have to be sharp and on it, don't you? You really do.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to know every aspect of the business. As a stunt coordinator, I have the thing too is it's weird. There's a lot of like younger stunt guys that think they're coordinating and stuff, but they don't really get it. I have to communicate with every single department. Okay, I talk to the director. What does he want to see? I have to make that happen. Talk to the producers. Why? We want to get paid. What are we,
Yeah.
you know, we want some money from them. I deal with hair and makeup. What if I'm doing a fire burn and they load one of my guys up with Aquanet, right? He goes up. So I have to talk to them. Wardrobe, what if there's a big fight scene and they dress my guys properly to their sizes? Well, I need to tell wardrobe, I need a half a size to a size bigger for pads. Okay.
Yes.
I have to deal with grip and lighting. What if we're sliding doing a car chase? I need to make sure the trajectory of where the cars are sliding to, you don't stick a camera. Well, if you stick a camera there, you do a lock off, turn it on, and split. So I'm in charge of safety of my stunt people, the cast, and the crew. So it's a
It,
big responsibility,
it is incredible.
definitely. And I just hope that a lot of local producers. I don't really know how they're because I've heard of some up and coming people that really don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, well, how would a producer risk the safety of the cast and crew rolling the dice with somebody that's really not qualified? But worse, and I've even told producers, are you going to risk losing your home and any investments? Because you're going to get the what suit out of you if somebody gets hurt or killed on your set. You're done. Tap
Right,
out time. But
right.
worst of all is I don't understand how insurance companies are, because I know what I've got to go through. Like most of the productions I work on are a little bit bigger. There's a vetting process. They want to turn me inside out. I give them, load them up with all my stuff. Obviously, they do their due diligence and they tell the producers, okay, this guy's qualified to work with you. So it comes down to insurance companies or producers pulling a fast one on insurance companies and saying they don't have stunts. So uh, that could be a whole nother episode. Let's talk about good stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for that. No, I love this because this is behind the scenes, and this is what it does, the insurance and all of that, it does come into play. There's a lot of paperwork too that goes on behind the scenes as well that has to be correctly filled out and all of that. So
Yeah, I have to do a narrative. I have to break down the script and break down all the action and what's involved. And, me, I have a plan A, B, and C if something goes sideways, other than cars that are supposed to go sideways.
I think you've seen so much, Rich, over the years. You've seen, I've seen you drive. You've got a great reel, by the way. And I
My
watch.
agent says it's too long.
Oh, well, you do so many different, there's so many variety of stunts, and you drive as well. You do fire, you do all kinds of things. So why not showcase that, to the full extent? Because I think it's fabulous. I watched it twice and I think it's fabulous. There you go. That's
Well,
that's
what I've done actually is I hadn't done a reel. And like I do my own editing because I just can't hand it off to somebody that's going to slack on me. So I did my own website. I taught myself how to do that just because I couldn't rely on people. I'm a go-getter. And so I taught myself how to edit. And the last demo that I did was 2007. And I'm looking at my own resume going, wow, I've done all this stuff since then. So when I talked to my agent, she goes, well, just break it down. So now I have a acting reel, I have a stunt reel, I have a stunt driving, all my car commercials, and I have a stunt coordinator reel that I'm working on, which is behind the scenes of me coordinating and my other guys getting in on the fun.
you're all set.
So
You've got it custom, a custom reel for any type of call, the actor call or breakdown. You've got it. You're set.
yeah, well, they still need to be shortened up a bit. So I'm going back. I'm going to take them and recut a little bit and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Okay. Well, it's always great to edit as well. Whatever is best for you, Rich, but really is great. On the second screen here, we have a picture of you. I believe it's
Oh,
from your
yeah.
composite. Yeah, that you showed before. It's great.
I
And
didn't know you were going to do that.
yeah, I've got a few more
Oh,
pictures that you
cool.
sent. Yeah, we're going to go through those as well. But this one, definitely you're in. You can, it's a, you have your cop character here, photos, as well as, well, this one on the left could be cop, it could be undercover cop, it could be security guard. It's kind of versatile, if you will, don't you think?
I call that my outdoorsy. I
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
fisherman, trucker, blue collar, good old
right,
boy with the hair up.
right.
Then I mean, I played a cop in Poker Face, on Peacock, hair up. Well, obviously I'm fairly inked up, so I put nylons, ladies nylons, okay, from wardrobe, and cut them and put nylons on my arms. They used to airbrush it, but that takes too much time and it's messy and all that. So it works good if you're not doing an absolute close up.
I love
Look at that guy with pantyhose on his on his arms.
But you know what? That's a very resourceful thing. I
Yeah.
think that's so smart to do. I was going to say makeup, but then makeup is the same as paint. And that, like you said, that's messy. And what color did you get? Did you just get nude color or beige?
you'd
Did you wear
you'd have to
beige?
ask wardrobe. I mean, they just were like, "Here, put these on," or what. I have them. Oh, hold on. I kept them in case I need them again. Look, ladies, if you want to come over and try them on. Oh man. Okay, I'm out of control now.
Thank you, Rich, for that show and tell. We always love that. And thank you
Oh,
for
I
the
got some.
offer on the pantyhose. I do have my own, but thank you.
Well, these have, yeah. Well, they don't have any feet in them anymore. So
They got holes at the end, so maybe.
speaking of the cop, while you still have the cop thing up, I guess I could kind of mention, but I can't go in too deep. But I had another great fortune or fortunate episode. I got a call from a stunt coordinator that I've worked for before, done some rigging, gentleman named Phil Tan. He goes, look, I can't tell you a lot, but listen, I need you to be driving with a high profile actor, and I need you to come sliding in and hit a mark, and then you're going to jump out and you're going to go into this scene. And that's what he told me. Oh, cool, cool. So I found out the day before going in that I'm going to be working with Mel Gibson.
Wow, really?
So
Is that
Phil,
breaking news right here?
yeah, it's breaking. It was about probably a month and a half now. Film called Boneyard, directed by Asif Akbar. So Phil told him that, hey, Rich will handle this, and uh, it was awesome.
Congratulations.
It was pretty
My gosh,
cool.
congratulations. I bet you're
Yeah.
over the moon, Rich, with this. Have you ever worked with Mel Gibson before?
No, and it's funny because when you're spending, basically I'm driving, he's sitting shotgun. I wish I could show you pictures, but you'll have to have me on again. Now this is a little teaser for part 3 with me.
Great.
We're FBI agents, and oddly enough, we're chasing a serial killer. And guess who it's played by? You're
Who?
gonna love it.
Who?
We're chasing a serial killer played by Weston or Wes Cage,
Oh
Nick's son.
my gosh, really?
Who happens to be dating a really great costume and wardrobe designer here.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's phenomenal.
yeah.
Now,
Irma Linda is actually now, I believe, this may be breaking news. I think she's engaged to Wes.
wow.
So I saw both of them on Boneyard, and I was like, "Hey, congratulations!" They bet on sympathy.
They
So
did?
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Oh my
She was
gosh.
doing wardrobe on sympathy. Wes would just come down and chill, whatever, visit with pops or whatever, and they kind of hit it off. And I'm stoked for them.
Oh, I'm so happy for them too. Congratulations to you and congratulations to them as well. Congratulations, Wes. And of course, Nicolas Cage. He's going to have his family will be growing, and that's a wonderful thing as well, right?
Yeah,
But isn't that a small world, Rich? What do
yeah.
you think of that?
I dig it. I mean, I love seeing all of the people I know here in Vegas succeed. It's like I can't do what I do without them. Like I always look. There's a lot of animosity in the business, but I've been in it for so long. I don't have time for that. I want to just see everybody grow and prosper. And if we had the studio bill pass, which it didn't, which is a whole nother episode. Um,
Are you talking about Disney? Do you mean Disney or Sony?
well, it was a Sony deal, but it was also a revamp of the tax incentive where there's a local loophole. The way the tax incentive currently stands, to get another level, like another 5% or something on the tax incentive, a production has to hire 50% local. Well, they didn't specify what type of local. So they loaded up with runners, PAs, and background people and said, "Hey, we hired 200 people." So like I've been losing my mind since the first tax incentive was passed because it doesn't mean anything. Any
Mm.
smart producer goes, "Hey, cool, we'll call up Julie. Hey, I need 100 extras. We'll book a showroom and put them in there and do a little music scene or number or whatever."
Wow.
So I don't want to get on that rant.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
but
hear.
there's things that need to change here. We
Yes.
need access to the permits that are filed. Any other city, the LA County, you can go down into the LA County Film Department. I think you can even access it somehow online and find out what's coming in, whether it's commercials, music videos, okay, in Clark County alone, Southern Nevada, you have 5 permitting departments. You have Clark County, City of Las Vegas, you have North Las Vegas, you have Boulder City and Henderson. There's 5 permit departments. Okay,
Wow.
so if I'm going to do a commercial and I have to file a permit with City of Las Vegas, that should be public information. Okay, it's not. It's top
Wow.
secret. So we don't even we have to find out through the grapevine and be all sneaky and weird to try to find out what's, and it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, I hope that it changes so that it becomes easier and more like the
Yeah,
Los Angeles model. I think what you described there was perfect, that
yeah,
everything is in one place and it's easy and it's smooth and it flows.
yeah.
Um, but
Well,
yes,
if all 5 of those jurisdictions just reported
yeah,
weekly to the film office and they were the central hub, like we actually have a meeting to talk about this, you know, I'm trying to level the playing field to make it more fair for locals to
yeah,
get on things. And the argument is, oh, a line producer doesn't want to get bombed with resumes. And I said, you can vet the people that have access to the permits. I'll pay $100 more, to have access to that.
Yeah, it's worth it.
So, but
Yeah.
let's talk about animal justice, another
Okay.
acting role. See, I'm
Okay.
pitching myself since I get old and I'm all beat up and put back together a million times and missing organs. My agent's pushing me into the acting realm. She goes, you can still play behind the camera and crash stuff, but let's do some acting.
Okay. Okay.
And so my buddy Danny Tesla you may have heard about animal justice, did you? A little
Um,
bit?
yeah, a little bit. Yes. Tell
Yeah,
us.
so he asked me to coordinate, and I said, "Hey, okay, cool." I read the script and all that, and lower end film, it was like crowd fun thing, and I said I told him I would do it. He actually was brave enough to come to me, and I liked his attitude, and he was cool about it. He goes, "I can't pay you a lot, you know." We'll defer some of it. I wrote some of it off in taxes. I tried to help him out. And then I brought in a bunch of new people that have been hustling me to work for me doing stunts. And I can't take somebody that's fairly new and put them on a, Warner Brothers production. I got to get to know them so I can trust them and give them. So I actually got to hire, I think I probably had a dozen stunt people on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doing different little cool things. And he he asked me if I wanted to play the role of Damien, which is this long-haired heavy metal like wannabe rocker. So I actually got to roll with the hair down, except I did this. I dyed it jet black.
Awesome.
Okay. I dyed my 90s soul patch jet black, and I dyed my fingernails black, and I just put silver rings, and I was just a heavy metal like animal killer. So
I'm not clapping for the animal killer, but
yeah, no.
I'm clapping for the cool look of, black hair and black nails and the silver jewelry, and you really got into character for that. Uh,
Yeah. It was fun. I
yeah.
look like Nikki Sixx meets Mick Mars from Motley Crue. It was
So
a lot of fun.
that is great. Well, congratulations on that, Rich, as well. And
Yeah.
this is, I love how you've been in the industry for so many years and you still think it's fun. You still get enjoyment. You still enjoy what you do. What is the secret to that? What is your secret, Rich?
Well, my secret to my longevity, since primarily my career has been stunts, is kind of staying alive. So it yeah, the more I stay alive, the more stunt credits I'll build up. But um, honestly, it's about to me, it's about networking. If I can do a favor for somebody, they're gonna remember me. Like right now, I just helped some casting people out of LA. They wanted local stunt people for this Bet MGM commercial. So my agent calls me up and she goes, "Hey, Rich, they want you to audition for the role of the referee, hat up and do the whole referee thing."
Right?
But I told them that you were kind of knew everybody in Vegas stunt wise. So I said, look, I'll help you guys out. So I submitted about 12 of my people. They wanted football players, basketball, MMA, a couple tennis players. So to me, and I mean, it took me 4 or 5 hours calling people. Are you available? Okay, getting their stuff, sending it to the casting people. And a friend of mine said, why the hell would you do that? They weren't paying you to do that. And I said, dude, are you crazy? They're going to know if they need anything in Vegas, they're going to call me. I may not book this commercial, which would suck. It's actually a national, like a gnarly. The casting director is even like, this is a $30,000 to $50,000 job. So I'm kind of going. Hope I get it, but to me, it's money in the bank down the road.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, the casting guys were super cool. We had several conversations, some Zoom, and it'll pay off. I'm
Yes,
kind of a
yes.
karma guy.
Yes, you are.
And I've helped a lot of people come up in the business by recommending them and vouching for them. And on the other end of the spectrum, I've seen people come in the business, try to be all shady and weird. And guess what? They got flushed out the bottom of the business. So
Yeah.
I think that integrity and being helpful to people, whether they're in your department or whatever, it's going to come back to me. So I think half of my business that I get phone calls for are people that I've known. They're return clients. They're somebody in LA. I need some stuff in Vegas. Call Rich. So that's the secret right there.
Yeah.
Everybody watching, if you're new, have integrity. Okay, be a stand-up person.
Yeah.
Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't be a douchebag. You know,
Yes, Rich, absolutely, 100%. And I
listen
believe
to the old man. See the gray hair? I know, baby.
we're listening to you, Rich, 100%. And I believe that too. And and Rich, your heart is so pure. It's in the right place. And you've learned your lessons as you were growing up in the industry. So you saw the things and what not to do. And now that your heart is in that good place, you are a connector. You are a facilitator. You are a networker. You bring people together. You've got some wonderful pictures here on your second screen, and these are a lot with fire. There's helicopters, and you're in, you're right on the set working. Can you tell us a little bit about them and how these look right when it looks like right when the fire has exploded or the explosion has happened.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
this one right here.
yeah.
That's actually a frame grab from Mind Freak, Chris Angel. Yeah,
Wow.
when he started out, Mind Freak, I was a stunt coordinator for him, and we did a stunt together called the Death Trap. So in that picture, he's actually jumping. He was locked in a coffin, like with shackled and manacled and all that, and he had to escape and get out of the box before I hit it and it blew up. So I'm in the car, and he's just barely getting out of the box, and then the whole thing explodes. So, and then there's the helicopter was a thing I did for Geek Squad, and that the funny thing about that helicopter shot, it was in Louisville, Kentucky. It was a live event for Geek Squad, and I had just had major back surgery like 8 weeks before that. I was paralyzed from spinal stenosis, and I had to learn how to walk again and get myself able to even do something like that. I At first I was just going to go out and coordinate it, and I brought two other stunt guys, one from Louisiana, one from Orlando, and as it came up and approached, I was going to put a third person in, and I said, you know what, I'm doing it. So I,
Oh,
yeah. So three of us rappelled out of the helicopter. Got the key. I delivered the key. I limped up and delivered the key to the city to the mayor to give to the CEO of Geek Squad or whatever. So that's a little side story. But every picture has 1,000 words to it.
wow. Talk about commitment, Rich. Talk about commitment. That's really important to you. I think we touched on that on your last show, how you are committed, you're consistent, and you're committed, and you show up. When you say you're going to do this, you make sure all your ducks are in row, you've got all the equipment, you really do a lot of prepare time, don't you?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. I'm back in the gym, and I mean, I play disc golf every day. I'm not working or it's not too windy, but I've been hitting the gym and getting,
Are you still
I
playing
mean,
disc golf? Are you still playing the disc?
oh yeah, every day. Are you
Oh,
kidding? Oh, I
okay.
wish I had a picture of my cart. It looks like Rodney Dangerfield's in Caddyshack. Oh, yeah, I'm
Wonderful.
fanatical.
This
But
is
I
a,
appreciate you saying my heart's in the right place, especially since I've had open heart surgery too. So
you have.
I can give you a summary. Okay, I've had open heart surgery. I have no spleen, no appendix, no gallbladder. I've had 3 concussions, broken my neck, broken my back twice, cracked ribs, blown out both of my ankles. I used to be pretty big into like aggressive inline skating back in the 90s. So I'd be the one jumping off of loading docks and off of stairs. And that was probably what led to the impact that made me shrink an inch. But yeah, my back finally said, I'm going to check out. And I could have, most people would have probably thrown in the towel at that point. Um, like I said, I left the hospital with a walker. I rolled that for a couple weeks, and then I switched to crutches for a couple weeks. And then I actually went and got a cane.
Wow.
And when I first time I went back to the gym after my back surgery, I was in there with Roy, who had just got mauled by the tiger. And we were going to the same gym, and he had like a nurse and a physical trainer with him. And here I come with my cane, and I had met them before, but we weren't that tight. But then, like, we would see each other in the gym, and I'd give him the thumbs up, and I'd talk to Siegfried about how he was doing. And then, unfortunately, Roy passed. Siegfried kept going to the gym, same one I go to. So we'd chat, and he was such a nice guy. Um, and then he passed away, but it was kind of motivating to me to see somebody else that was kind of jacked up, like in the gym and not throwing in the towel. And, it's kind of overcoming your objectives. So
Yes.
I don't recommend all the injuries and surgeries I've had, but if that can be motivation to somebody to go, wow, that guy's been through the ringer and he's still rocking, you know, take it as a motivational message. You know, I could have cashed out a long time ago.
Absolutely. Your spirit and your soul is so very strong, isn't it? Because there's two things. We have the physical body, and then we have the spirit and the drive and the will and the soul. And Rich, yours is incredibly strong. Your spirit to survive, recover, and bounce back and continue on and be healthy. And that's really remarkable. Did you want to say something?
No, I'm digging what you're saying. I mean,
Okay.
I I don't want to live out the rest of my life being a pretzel and a veg.
Yeah.
And if I stop playing disc golf, stop going to the gym, stop eating right and all that, I would just, yeah, I'd be a
Right.
mess.
That's right. So that's why we had our fruit and vegetables today, right, Rich?
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
because that's the good stuff. That's what our physical tissue and bones and all of that need, and muscles. We need that. So I did want to ask you a question. Did you ever? I grew up watching Evel Knievel. And okay, and my father loved and adored him, and so did I. He was incredible in the 70s. First of all, are you related to him?
No. No.
And second, did you admire him or ever get to meet him? I want to talk about that.
Yes. No, I'm not related to him, maybe in spirit, Evil, the man. He was definitely a risk taker. I mean, I think that most professional stunt people would consider him a daredevil. Like, there's a difference. Like, a calling a professional stunt person a daredevil is almost like, making fun of them. And I came through into professional stunts through action sports. I surfed, rock climbed, jet skied. I like did all this stuff, bikes and the whole deal. And when I tried to get into stunts, man, I had some of the old timers going, man, you're just a newbie wannabe daredevil, which I can segue that. I'm actually writing a book about all my adventures, and it's called Newbie Wannabe Daredevil. So,
Oh, wow,
because
really?
that's what I was called when I first tried to get into stunts. And I'm like, no, no, man. And I would argue with these guys that were like, oh, I've been jumping off of trains into cactuses since you were knee high to a grasshopper. And like, they didn't really accept action sports people. And now I would say probably a third of people that are in stunts have come through some kind of action sports, motocross, or you know things early like on. So, when he was not Evil Knievel, like, I mean, he was Evil Knievel, but before he got really famous and started doing big jumps like Wembley Stadium and all that, he was just, I mean, he had way more bravado and cojones, let's say. But then he actually brought in engineers and people that were knowledgeable of ramps and math guys that could figure out trajectory and speed and all that. So he got smart enough to go, hey, I'm doing some big stuff now. Let's at least bring a couple guys in to like figure stuff out for me. But I mean, he's the man. I mean, he's
Yeah.
bad. He's a
He, he's
legend.
he's rad, isn't he? He's pretty rad.
Yeah, I
Um,
think that a lot of stunt people now are way more calculated, and there's a lot going into the safety and stuff now, which I have mad respect for my founding fathers of stunts because they were jumping off stuff into cardboard boxes. I mean, early on it was hay bales, then it went to cardboard boxes, then it was, airbag technology came in. People were doing little fire burns and stuff. Then the gel technology came in and Nomex and I mean, I hate to say a lot of the younger stunt people, you really got it made because the forefathers, which I'm kind of at the tail end of that, I got into it when safety was starting to be not only necessary, but required,
wow.
through OSHA, through SAG regulations. I mean, there's pages of stunt guidelines and stuff, but any good coordinator doesn't need to read the stunt guidelines to know what to do. Like we've been there, done that. So,
Amazing.
um,
Amazing. So let's go back and circle back to your book. When are
oh,
you when does that come out? And do you have a book cover yet? Where's the stages of it in the writing? This is so exciting. And I
I
want a
know.
copy. I want an autographed copy. So where can we where will we be able to buy it? Maybe on your website in the future?
It's so early. I'm just what I've outlined the book and then I'm slowly plugging in stories. I mean, I'm at that phase. And I actually bought this program, which is pretty cool. It's
Oh,
actually a voice recognition program
nice.
because I type like this, like the two finger deal. So it would take me like I'd be dead before I finished a book. So I can sit here with a headset on and I can just tell stories. Okay, then I go back in and I can just kind of tweak it a little bit. And then once I compile all my stories, I'll hire an editor to go in and, I'm not very good at punctuation and, and all that. So I shouldn't have even mentioned it. I
Oh,
mean,
I think it's great. I think it's
I know, it just came kind of, yeah, I should have just,
oh no, I think it's
it's
so
down the road.
it's down the road, but we can look forward to that. And you know
Sure.
what? I bet you have so many fun pictures, Rich, that you
I
can
do.
include in it. Oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait. I know it's going to be a fabulous book and a bestseller and a number one. Um,
Well, I think that young people would dig it because I'm going to have a little bit of, talk about my setbacks, the surgeries, the injuries, this and that, and just go, look, I could have bailed now. Chapter 3, my book would be 3 chapters long if I threw in the towel. So
uh-huh.
I want it to be like cool. I want just full of pictures. Um, yeah, I want to make it fun.
Very
And the book cover, actually, I'm working on it with my son's mother. She's a great graphic designer
nice.
and she actually sent me a draft, which I'm not going to show. Maybe if we
Okay.
come on next, we'll have a little bit. Everything's kind of moving.
Well,
So in downtime of not filming, I'm trying to get that going.
wonderful, wonderful. You're going to do very well at that, Rich. And also on the second screen here, I've got more of your Z card. Do they still
Yeah.
call it a Z card or composite?
I
Um,
don't know. My agent hates it, but so we kind of go round and round. But I'm like, look, I'm a character actor. Like that's why I dig guys like Nick. I mean, he can go from Renfield to like an alcoholic to like, and I don't want to be the long hair hippie guy. I like play. I can play rocker, stoner, druggy, but I can also play. So like the the comp card or whatever, composite card.
we've got some great photos here. You've got one in a, playing tennis. You're in a
Yeah,
sports, right? And
cheesy.
with
Yeah,
a tennis racket. Then you've got one that's a very business-like professional. Then you've got one
yeah.
that is like a, you could be, you could play a rocker, a sophisticated rocker, or somebody's, biography of a film, of the many rock and roll superstars that we have. And then you also have the outdoor and possibly um, fishing and sports picture as well. And then you've also got a picture here where that you're on the red carpet as well. So you've got a
Yeah.
lot of nice looks, Rich. You've got a lot of variety. And so now, if people want to hire you and have you in their film, do they contact your management? I think that's on here as well. Is that right?
Well, they can call Heidi over at KMR, but I mean they can call me directly, and then I would loop her in somehow. I mean, on smaller stuff, if I'm helping somebody out, she doesn't want a piece of the action there. Um, she deals with the big stuff,
Okay,
you
sounds
know.
good. And
Yeah, she.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say she didn't get involved with the animal justice thing. You know, Danny and I worked that out. I was helping him out, and she handles all the good stuff.
That's wonderful. Well, I know you're so thankful and grateful to
Yeah,
have
I
her.
mean,
That meant a lot.
like the biggest problem I have is, you know, everyone likes to brag about how many film productions come here. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything to me. What it matters to me is if a film comes here and puts us to work. Because
Yeah.
there's nothing more insulting than somebody coming and taking a job that I could have, making the money I could have and I would spend here. Like we own homes and have families here, and we have, you know, we would be contributing back to the Las Vegas economy. These people come here and make a ton of money, and they go back to LA or wherever and spend potentially our money somewhere
Yeah, we do
else.
hope that more Las Vegas locals, like you said, they have families, they buy groceries, they put it back into the economy there. So it's a win-win situation. And also, we're almost out of time. We need to start wrapping it up. But I did want, I know it's been so much fun, Rich, and with you. We always close. You've been an absolute wonderful guest, Rich, as always. You've always come through, and thank you so much. It's been so enjoyable. You made me very happy tonight, and I hope you had a good time. And Rich,
Absolutely.
we always do our heart messages. Okay, so for tonight, my heart message, and I'll go first, is well, I'm going to piggyback off of what you said. I'm going to say, please, right now there's a writer strike, and we're on the precipice of a possible actors strike.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, midnight tomorrow. Now, they say it might take a miracle to not happen. But with that in mind, I want to ask everybody out there to support your local artists, your actors, and support your local film industry professionals, just like Rich. He's phenomenal. And because when you do, it helps us and we contribute back into the economy. So I just want to say thank you, Rich, for that. And that's my heart message for tonight. And over to you, Rich, for your heart message.
Hey, I think I said it earlier. I mean, anybody aspiring to be in the business, or if you're already in the business and you actually want to take it to the next level, work from your heart, baby. Be kind to people, help people out. It'll come back to you. You know, tuck the egos. I see people with egos that I call the sophomore syndrome. You know, you get a half a dozen credits, next thing you know, you're Spielberg or you think you're Nick Cage. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Be nice to people, be cool with people, help people. It'll come back to you, I promise.
I
From the
love
heart, baby.
from your heart, Rich.
And my heart's been put back together, so it knows.
Oh my gosh. I just want to touch on that real quick. You had open heart surgery.
I did.
Amazing. And you survived it, and here you are. And we're so proud of you because your heart is beautiful, Rich. You have a beautiful, beautiful heart. And we need you. We need people like you. There's only one Rich Hopkins, but we
Thank
need you.
God. Some people would say thank God. No, hey, I'm always trying to improve myself. So,
Yeah.
you know, I've butted heads with people over the years, and actually I've got a list here of people that I'm trying to mend fences with, because I almost died from COVID, and we can get into that because I know we're wrapping things up, but I had a life-changing moment of like, wow, I have done so many stunts that could have killed me, and now this stupid disease, germ, whatever the hell it was going to kill me. And I was like, I need to start mending fences. And I've got a list of about a dozen people that I've butted heads with, and I've reached out and I've actually mended about a half of them. So I'm always looking to improve myself. There's always room for improvement,
I love that.
personally and professionally.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. That is so eloquent and so meaningful and so important. And I want everybody who watches this to take that to heart. I believe that also, Rich.
Yeah.
And That's so wonderful. So how can people follow you and support you?
Well, I'm not huge social. I mean, I missed that bus. I mean, I've got personal Facebook, I've got a company Facebook, I've got LinkedIn, and I think I have a Twitter, but I don't even really goof off there. But I mean, I have a website, thrillseekersunlimited.com. I mean, I'm pretty easy to find. If you just happen to Google Rich Hopkins stunts, I think like dozens and dozens of pages will come up. But there's also a motivational speaker named Rich Hopkins and a country singer named Rich Hopkins. So do Rich Hopkins stunts and you'll find me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, let me leave on a note, like any filmmakers that need advice or want to bring me on or whatever, but you're thinking, oh, I can't afford that guy or whatever, call me. If I can help you out, I'm happy to. If we can work together, even better. But I promise you this, if I can't help you, I'm going to find somebody that will help.
Wow. Wow. Well, you know what, Rich? I might give you a ring myself and ask
Okay.
you.
Oh, any book publishers that are watching this, you know, I'll talk to you in a year.
Yes, literary agents, come Rich's way.
My agency actually has a literary department, so
Okay,
we'll see what happens.
that might be an option and possibility
Sure.
there.
Why not? I've been with them for 8 years.
That's
They'll
great.
throw me a bone.
They definitely will. Well, Rich, it's been such a great evening. Thank you so much again. And everyone go follow and support Rich Hopkins. He's absolutely amazing. And
Oh,
go check
stop.
out Sympathy for the Devil in theaters and back on the
Yeah,
strip, right, Rich?
yeah.
And
You're gonna
until,
dig it.
what's
You're
that, love?
gonna dig it, I promise.
We're gonna dig it. You bet we are. And Rich, until we meet again, au revoir.
Thank you. Bye.